What's up, everybody? Well, I got a different video for you guys today. Today, we're going to just kind of play a bunch of games on this thing. Now, why am I doing that, you ask? Well, I got an interesting request from somebody who had their damn computer stolen from them. They're gonna get it back from the cops in like a couple of weeks. So I was like, all right, cool. At least you got it back. I'm so used to listening to those news stories where like, yeah, the criminal got away, never found him, don't know who they are. And then, I mean, it sounds lame, but they've got bigger fish to fry. So they say. So they're like, nope, it's not our real concern. Sucks it happened, but too bad. So it's absolutely a win to hear somebody actually get their stuff back for a change. I'm sure they just have to like keep it in evidence and blah, blah, blah and that shit. So he asked me if I could go play some games because he hasn't been able to play games for like a year. So I just went and picked a bunch of random games, not necessarily only new games, but just picked a few graphically intensive games to play. And he wanted me to play them at 1440p. So I could do that. And heck, for a 4090, that's actually like, for most games anyway, a cakewalk. I can still think of a few games I probably can't max out and get 60 plus. Like Alan Wake 2, for example. I don't think that game would do path tracing and all that shit. Or games like Black Myth, Wukong, that kind of stuff. But anyway, now that we've gotten this little intro done and I explained what we're doing, I'm gonna go get started. So I just kind of picked, I can't even remember how many games I picked, but quite a few. I think there's like 5 to 10 or something like that. But there could be more, I can't really remember. So hell, I guess we'll find out by the end, won't we? So let's go get started with the gameplay.
So here's the settings we're gonna go with. 1440p. We're not gonna, it does say it's got DLSS on, but it's fixed. So it should be at 1440p unless I misunderstood what they were talking about. I could do temporal, but I think no matter what, the DLSS looks a little better. That's just me though. So. There we go though. Now we can go and have a quick look at the actual graphics settings too. Oh, yes, I do want to keep those. Thank you very much. All right. So here are the settings we went with. All right, let's get into the game. Here we are in the game. So let's just run around for a little bit. Kind of funny, it looks a lot better when I'm looking back at it. I remember people saying 1440p doesn't necessarily look very good on like LG C1 for some reason. I think they said something about the pixel substructure or something like that. I can't remember the technical reasons, but they just said 1440p and 1080p, and well, especially 1440 will not look good. 1080p obviously isn't going to look good on that either, but I think it actually would look better than 1440 did. 1440p made it look like, I don't know, like really soft and weird. But now looking back at it now it looks nice and crisp. Interesting. Probably because it's not full screen, first off. I'm watching it in like a windowed mode and it's native resolution, which on a 4K screen doesn't really fill up the whole thing. Fills up a pretty decent amount, but not the whole thing. Alright, stop moving around and let me like shoot you in the face. There we go. Ah. That is how I beat all of them. I just basically stand behind a tree or a rock and then just shoot them right in the cabin. And they all eventually die. Muck that up. There we go, he's done. Now, I could have sworn there was one more I missed. Okay, there's one guy. Where's this other dude? There he is. I think I shot him literally right in the head. Yeah, getting hit by an arrow like this when you're human, you would die so bad. I mean, look at what they did to their big old freaking like little mini Gundams. Just in case there's some more. Because I could have sworn there's one I didn't kill. Maybe I got it damaged and then it blew itself up or something. I don't know. Or I miscounted. Alright though, I think that's probably enough for this particular game. Let's move on to the next one. So here's the settings we're going to run. Just going to do native 1440. And for graphics, just maxed it out. Should be able to handle it no problem. Pretty sure it handled this game native, even at 4K. So, should be able to handle it no problem at 1440. But anyway, that is basically the bottom, so let's not waste any more time and let's get ourselves into the game. Here we are in the game. Still looks pretty damn good even at 1440. I mean, hell, maxed out, these games look alright even at 1080 on my old laptop.
Over here, I could use some help.
Obviously, again, it's not the best looking game in the entire world, but as long as a game matches its setting and doesn't, like, mostly lag and stutter, I don't like that shit. So as long as it looks as good as this or better, I'm happy with that. And again, this doesn't, I don't think this has any ray tracing or anything like that going on. It's kind of funny. I went around the benchmark, and the benchmark looked like a stuttering mess, but now that we're actually in the game, it seems to run pretty much butter smooth. That's a good reason why I don't just always use the benchmarks and go, yep, that's how it runs, and just do nothing but benchmark videos. I like actually running around and whatnot, just playing the game. That way people can just see how it is. Sure, I don't have any, like, super scientific shit where it's like, oh yeah, you're getting so many 1% lows and average and highs. I've tried to do that before, but it never wants to show properly. It'll do average okay, but it won't ever do the, or not average, it'll do this, the current FPS. Average looks like it somewhat works, but lows just seems like it hits 0 because of like a load screen or something, and then just stays that way. So I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. I just have to go watch a video or something about it. But I kind of like just doing it this way better anyway. Alright, let's take this camel and just run down the road just for a little bit. And just like I do when I always play the game, I'm just going to take a hit while I ride my camel. Yeah, a lot of people don't like auto-running games or not, but it's perfect for me. I love just being able to take a break and hit my bowl, go get like a snack or something, go take a piss, you know? Only problem with this is you can come back and maybe some bandits like blocked your way, and now all of a sudden you're dead. So it's not always like the best solution. Anyway though, why don't we go ahead and move ourselves on to the next game. Alright, here we go. We're gonna do 1440. And I don't know why that stupid thing popped up when it's full screen, especially exclusive full screen, but anyway. I did not turn on the RTX direct lighting or anything like that. Figured that would just be like, hey, let's get 20 FPS or something. Heck, maybe it wouldn't even affect it FPS much, but I figured let's just leave that off. Actually, wait. I thought I had that all the way up too. We'll apply that real quick. There we go. I don't see any reason why this can't do that, especially only at 1440. But that is the bottom. Game time. So here we are in the game. Sorry about that stupid recording I started thing. I try to not let that show up in my videos, but sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to when it shows up. I know for a fact if I do something windowed or borderless, it'll usually do it. But lately, those haven't been doing it, and then it'll just happen randomly. So now I never really know when it's going to happen. But I'll usually just wait a couple seconds to talk when I go to do this part of the voiceovers, but it is what it is. I'm sure not too many people care that much about it, but to me it makes it just look a little bit like, I don't know, just not as good as it could be without it. It's just a minor thing. They always say you're your own worst critic, I guess.
Leave the junk they just throw away. I found 2 perfectly good converters in the alley down the club.
So let's just run around town a little bit here. Yeah, the game doesn't really look as bad as a lot of people say it looks. It's definitely, again, nothing to write home about, but definitely not the worst graphics in the world either.
A lot of shakedowns tonight. Police will be loaded with credits.
But of course, there's still some
All the
stuff that could
merchants
use
are out
work.
for the
Like,
Kanto Cup.
I don't know, some of this like stuff like trees and stuff don't look really great, but I guess they might just be the way they are. Maybe they're supposed to just look like twigs and bushes with no leaves on them, you know? But you really got to nitpick. And I guess the hair doesn't really look that impressive either, but hair is kind of hard to do. And if you do it wrong, it makes the game like a stuttery mess. So most people just take it easy on that shit.
I snuck into the track last night.
Why not take a look?
I scavenged
Oh, the
enough
more
cards
I'll start to pick up. I
pay off.
think I know where pretty much every location for every item is in this little starting area. I've used it to test so many systems at this point. Anyway, though, why don't we move on to the next game? All right, here we go. I'm doing 1440p. Unfortunately, that stupid recording started thing pops up again, even though I'm full screen. I guess it just shows up when it wants now. Anyway, though, here's all the settings. Doing ray tracing. You can actually kind of do that when you're on 1440. 4K, not gonna happen. You gotta have a little help in DLSS. Anyway, though, let's go hop into the game and see what it looks like and how it plays. So here we go. Let's just run around just a little bit. This game's a little older, but graphics still hold up. Especially with ray tracing on. You guys seem suspicious. Ah, man, it's so hard to aim with controller. Die, damn you. Where'd the other one go? There he is. Alright, cool. They're done. All right, time to go. All right, moving on. So here's the settings we're gonna go with for this particular game. And I'm using DLAA because, in my opinion, it looks the best, and it doesn't hurt the FPS or anything like that versus the other ones, to my knowledge, anyway. I had that off before. I must have accidentally clicked it on as I was scrolling through before while I was messing with the other settings. But anyway, now why don't we go ahead and get ourselves into the game. So here we are in Forbidden West. It had like one stutter and then it was basically like smooth as hell after that. And who knows, those could just be because I was recording, because I don't remember like any stutters when I played. Although I didn't play on this computer, that's right, I played this on my big screen. Alright, let's call our bird thing. Run around on the ground for a little while longer. That's interesting. Seems like we're getting so many FPS that like the physics get broken. Like her clothes are like wiggling like super fast. Yeah, this is definitely a good looking game. Obviously, it's not the, whatchamacallit. Doesn't have any ray tracing or anything like that, so it's probably not the best looking game in the entire world, but still, not every game needs ray tracing to look good. And half the time, I don't even like ray tracing anyway. It's too freaking costly. Even on a 4090, because I'm at 4K, so I'd have to use DLSS or, hell, heaven forbid, FrameGen on some games. I don't really like using FrameGen. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Here we go. We're going to do 1440p, just native, but with DLAA and aliasing. And here's the rest of the settings. And all right, now I think we can go ahead and get ourselves into the game. So now here we are in the game. So let's just run around for a little while. Yeah, this is another game that still looks pretty dang good. Considering I'm pretty sure this is like an old PS4 game that's just had a bunch of updates to make it look a lot better. So, still looks nice. I don't think it has any ray tracing or anything either. Gets pretty decent FPS too. If I remember correctly, I still got over 60, even at 4K, so I think I was in like around the 75 to 80, maybe 90 every once in a while range. Which is more than enough for me in a game like this. But this is even better. Because it still looks really nice, but now you're getting like 120 FPS a lot of the time. Alright though, why don't we go ahead and move along? Alright, just for fun, even though this game's not hard to run or anything. I mean, it was when it first came out, but it seems like it's all good now. And I also figured out you have to go to windowed and then one over, even though it says nothing. I'm pretty sure that's full screen. So, now that we got that out of the way, there's really just the resolution and display mode, we can get into the game. So here we go. Let's get ourselves a little gameplay here. Yeah, all of this was so stuttery and terrible before when the first game came out. It was awful. Borderline unplayable on anything. But luckily they updated it real quick. And that can happen on PC sometimes, but if the people don't fix it, usually the PC gamers will fix it in some way, shape, or form. So, I mean, unless the game is just inherently just terrible and just unfixable. But apparently this game wasn't one of those.
Be safe or be sorry.
Hold it right there. You zombie jerks. I'll help you.
Oh, it is 420 apparently.
Awesome. I'm still alive.
Pretty zombie medals.
Thanks, kid. Really great work. See if you can get anyone
Be
else
careful.
out.
That is some mighty fine terpy slurpy.
Whoa, zombies suck dick at
It wasn't quite cured when I first got it, so I kind of left it alone and let it stew for a couple weeks. And it definitely paid off. Now it has a very nice taste. Probably lost some weight though. I think that's probably why they do that. They know that if they don't do that, they can get away with giving away a little less. Because when it dries, it won't weigh quite as much. Because obviously, if the water goes away, obviously the weight's going to go down.
Hey,
It's just basic physics.
On my skirt.
And I'm no scientist, but I can at least do basic physics quite well. Alright though, I think that's just about enough of this game. This was just kind of something that was new and popular, and I figured why not. So, let's move on to the next game. So here are the settings we're going to go with. Basically just maxed out. It should be easy to be able to play this game at 1440p. It kind of struggled a little at 4K, at least when it first came out. Maybe it could do it fine now, but anyway, enough of that. Let's go get ourselves into the game. Here we are in Starfield. Still looks about the same as I remember it. Still has RAM stutters just like I remember it. Like no matter how many times they upgraded this game is one of those ones that just kind of randomly stutters now and again. Like a lot of games will have it every once in a blue moon, and it'll be like a really small little one that'll be basically unnoticeable unless you have a frame rate counter like this. But walking into town there, I think anybody would have noticed that. And it just does that random. It can be like smooth as butter 1 minute, and then like you walk like some other part of town and it starts acting like that again. Or at least that's the way it used to be. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe it's just one big stutter and you go into town and then it's fine after that. I guess we'll see as we run around, won't we?
Been up there, huh? Space.
And yeah, again, this game is one of those games that just does not really look that great considering how it runs, but hell, I guess that's what happens when you use an old, I don't even know how old it is, but it's a really old game engine, and they pretty much put it together with cardboard and duct tape and said, yep, there we go. Let's ship that. People will love it. Oh wait, why is our game not selling? Shit. Yeah, so that's what happens. I think if they would have like got a new engine and like made NPCs a little bit more like NPC-like, more lifelike. I mean, sure, there's a lot of people here, but it kind of reminds me of like when Cyberpunk first came out. The people walking around just kind of looked like they were walking around aimlessly. Now they kind of look like they have purpose. Although I guess I'm really spoiled by games like GTA 5. All of the AI in that game actually looks like they're off doing their own things. They're off in their own little world that actually feels like a city, you know? And that game's how many years old at this point? Wonder how the 6 will be. I mean, I could get it for PlayStation, but I don't really want to do that because last time I tried that, the game ran like absolute trash. Again, this was back before like the pro consoles and stuff came out. This was on PS3, and I really don't think GTA 5 should have even came out on 360 or PS3. It was dropping down like into the teens. Looked like it was running at like 640 by 480, and had like everything beyond low. It was just not good. But then I got it for PC, and it was like a whole different game. Even had more radio stations, funny enough, than the old PS3 and 360. Well, at least they updated it for the, what do you call it, PS4 and Xbox One. It was a much better experience there, but not as good as PC. Okay, this game has quite a lot of settings, so bear with me. But we're playing it at 1440p with DLA on, and we're just going to have the game maxed out. Because I would think I could play this game maxed out even at 4K and stay over 60, so it should have no problem at 1440. And it's using 9 gigs out of the 24. Honestly, I've never really found any game that really comes close to using all this RAM. I mean, unless it's allocating it. I've seen some games allocate like almost all the RAM, but I've never really seen a game just be like, yeah, I need like 24 gigs of VRAM. It's nice to have, though, especially if you do some actual work on your PC, too. But anyway, do the game. So here we are in the beginning of the game here, and this is one of the most intensive areas I remember when I first tested this game when it first came out.
I'm here, baby. I'm here. Come, give me your hand. What is it?
My leg hurts.
How bad?
Pretty bad.
We're gonna need to run. Keep us safe. Come on, baby. Now hold on tight.
Okay. Daddy, I'm scared.
Keep your eyes closed, honey. Don't look, Sarah.
So far, it's doing a pretty good job.
Keep looking at me, baby. We're gonna get out of this. I promise.
All right. Well, we're not going to go into the fire, so I guess into the alley. Come on, guy, get over here and open this damn thing.
This way, through the alley.
Here he is.
He's dead. God damn it. We're almost there. We're almost there, baby. They're getting through the fence. Keep going. Find a way out of here. Come on. Joe. Move it. Get to the highway. Go. You got Sarah. I can outrun him.
Uncle Tommy?
I will meet you there. Hurry.
Daddy, we can't leave him.
He's gonna be fine. We're almost there.
They're getting closer. Dad?
All right, though. Let us move on. All right, here's the settings we're going to run with. And as for graphic settings, we're doing this just native 1440. All right, that is the bottom. Let's go get into the game and see how it does. So here we are in the game. Ah, horse shit. I completely forgot. I wasn't playing this on this computer. I was playing it on my other computer. I don't have that cool fix for the 30 FPS on this computer. Should have thought about that. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, bone stock, you get 30 FPS cutscenes, which is just bullshit. I mean, some people don't give a crap, but I don't know. I don't really see the point. You might as well just let it be whatever you're getting. Otherwise, it's a little jarring to go from like 80 down to 30, you know? We were like at 88, 87 or something going under that log. Then, bam, right down to fucking 30. Shit. Oh, well, at least this game still looks halfway decent. Though I still don't think it looks good enough for how it runs. Like, the way it looks, you'd think you'd get like at least like 100-ish FPS. Alright, I can skip? Oh, god dang it. I went into the photo mode. Dang it. There we go. Skip. I want to get into some battles. Yeah, see, now we're back into the 80s. But let's see what it's like when we're actually battling. Because I think, yep, those are enemies. Alright, what does what? I can't even remember what I'm doing in this game. I got too many damn games, and I'm playing too many games today. I can't remember what does what. Alright, so that's how you dodge. Holy shit, you guys are like those weird, like a bunch of different carnivorous plants all just morphed into one, aren't you? Like, it looks like a combo between a picture plant and a freaking Venus flytrap. Yeah, seems to stay pretty smooth at least. Anyway though, why don't we move on? Here's another one of those games that I think I got a little overzealous with the settings, but still. I also wanted to push it a little bit since we had, we're just down to 1440. But there were still parts, at least in the little opening video anyway, that dropped below 60. But I think we were mostly 60 while we were fighting the dude, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, here we go. Now, I picked the very beginning opening just because it was one of the hardest to run places I saw. So, we do drop under 60 during this little scene, but I think for most of the game, though, you'd probably be fine with these settings. And if not, you could always turn on a little DLSS on the quality, and then it probably would be just fine. But I was trying to play native 1440, because that's what was requested. But yeah, see it drops down to 55.49. Not the end of the world, obviously. You're not even controlling the character, but it definitely looks a little choppy. But hey, I'll take that over it being like under 30 FPS at that point. And I also recorded way more of this game than like any of the other games, mostly just because I didn't remember I could skip this. I thought you had to skip it, and I thought you got into fighting him a lot earlier. But there was a lot more talking than I remember. Gotta play some stutters, too. Luckily, the actual game was pretty smooth, though I didn't play on this computer. I played that, again, on my TV PC, with arguably a much weaker processor, but that 3D cache can help a lot. As long as you don't want to play with ray tracing, and ray tracing in this game was a little too heavy, so I didn't run it. Well, besides the stock. I played cinematic, but I definitely played with DLSS unbalanced. And I averaged like, I think it was like 70 to 80 FPS most of the time, and that's plenty for a game like this for me. To be able to have all the eye candy up, besides the, you know, actual NVIDIA ray tracing. But shit, this game still looks so freaking great. Just with the thing on cinematic, it's like whatever. I don't even care. I'd much rather have the smoother FPS. Because I tested that out first at 1440 and got like 44 FPS. So if you're okay with 30, 40 FPS, you can have, you know, the real ray tracing on at 1440. But I know a lot of people on PC wouldn't dare to have that kind of frame rate. But that's just me. I'm not that, and I'm not everybody, so some people are totally okay with that, as long as the game looks good and doesn't drop under 30, and some people don't even care about that, to be honest. I mean, the Switch exists. I know I've been playing Breath of the Wild, and I know for a fact that thing's dropping under 30 FPS. I don't have a frame rate counter, so I have no idea what, but my guesstimate would be like down into the 20s, like 22, 23 in some of the harder to run areas. And that's a little distracting. I don't like that. That's exactly what brought me to try to freaking get emulation for Switch games working on PC. And thank God I did. Although now they seem to be on a warpath to get rid of all of it. So I'm glad I did it where I did. Though I guess it'll be hard for people to keep stuff up to date, but at least I could always go back and play everything that already worked, right? But man, this game looks good. I'd say this is probably one of the best looking games of the year. But that's just my opinion. Everybody is more than free. There's a lot of decent looking games this year. But this game was a lot of fun too. I put a lot of hours into this. I think I put like 155 hours into it. I got like New Game Plus. But I haven't gotten too far in it because then, as usual, I was really addicted to it, played a bunch, and then a bunch of new games came out and went and started playing all those. But I will probably come back to this one. I want to see how far I can go. Alright, let's get some actual fighting in here. Oh, I skipped, but I think it still has a few more words. Alright, there we go. Oh, little stutter there. Whoa. I really should have locked onto him, but I was being lazy. And at least in this battle, I don't think you can technically die. You don't even have a life bar, so it's like, whatever, I'll just chill. I was rusty anyway. Yeah, like see right there, if I had been locked on, I would have probably hit him with that damn attack. Alright, so here's the settings. We're gonna run. I just went with low settings, because I figured most people are gonna want FPS over graphics in these kind of games, but I might have picked the wrong one. Maybe the guy who requested this is more about graphics and would just like max everything. That's usually how I play these games, because I'm nowhere near good enough at these to really make use of the FPS anymore. The only first-person shooter I was ever good at was Counter-Strike. And I also forgot to do the view, but I had all the field of views maxed out too. There we go. Starting off. Now, I'm not very good at these games, so I'm just gonna kind of like parachute off in the middle of nowhere just so we can get some FPS data. Because if I just land with everybody, I probably won't get a gun and I'll just die. And the whole video will be me just relaunching on the plane over and over again. And that's no fun. So sorry, it's not super action-packed. If I was good at this game, I'd just drop down and just start pooping on them, but instead, I would be the one that was pooped on.
Primary objective is to eliminate all targets.
I'm also so not used to playing this with a controller. I usually use keyboard and mouse for these, but I absolutely forgot that I was playing standing up last time, not with keyboard and mouse, because I had a camera, so I got into the game and forgot. If you don't select that ahead of time, it doesn't let you change. You can't just start a game with a controller and then pick up keyboard and mouse and start attacking controller people. Yeah, that wouldn't be very fair, so I have to use the controller, but it is what it is. We're just running around anyway. It's good enough for that. I wouldn't be able to hit the broadside of a barn, though.
Gas is inbound.
Alright, let's move on. So, here we go. Settings for this game, 1440. Native, of course. Actually, I don't want that on. Half the time, I feel like that just makes more stutters. Latency might actually go down for sure, but what's the point if you get stutters? Although, maybe I'm just in my own head about it, and maybe it does help. I'll have to test that one of these days. That might make for a fun video. Anyway, though, let's go hop ourselves into the game. Here we go. Let's run around town real quick, then we'll go out and start killing a few things. Alright, gotta remember where all the buttons are. Alright, so that one uses that attack. Oh, a lot of stuff. No more essence. Alright though, why don't we move on to the next game? So here's the settings we're going to go with. Admittedly, I went a little overzealous with them. I wanted to stay over 60 and all the things if I could, but I guess this is still a little too much even at 1440. You'd probably just have to like lower the path traced lighting and transparency or something like that a little bit. And then it would probably be the 60 plus. Or just turn DLSS on as well. But anyway, let's go hop into the game. So here we are in the game, and as you can see, we're not quite at 60. We kind of hang out in the 50s. I think there's even one point where we drop down to like 47 or something like that. But I mean, this is a very slow-paced walking game. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I'd still like a 60 plus experience, so I'd probably just suck it up and turn on some DLSS on quality or something like that. And then it would probably stay above 60
Could
the
be
whole
our
time.
deputy.
Might be, you know, a couple parts of the game here and there, I guess, that might still drop down to like 57 or something like that. But for the most part, you'd be at 60 plus, I think. Because we're already close as it is. Like, we still do drop down like 51. I think, like I said, I think I saw a 47 at some point during the gameplay.
Hey there. Agent Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
Yep, I sure am taking over the case.
Anderson?
This case is all mine.
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am.
What can you tell us about the crime scene? Were there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple out-of-towners.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
No stale smoke.
Sure, that's real simple.
Before we get to the crime scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far. Make sure I'm seeing the clues clearly.
The case board in the mind place.
The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique. To sift through clues and work the case. Build. The facts are on
You know what this game reminds me? I still have to go beat Control.
About the previous murders. Worth taking another look.
Because I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought it was like a glorified tech demo of ray tracing, but then I played it a little and it was kind of fun. Although I like psychic powers and weird shit like all that, so I guess it's right up my alley.
I see you're
Just trying to skip through all that quick. It's hard to remember what buttons skip what in games, because most people don't like watching a bunch of cutscenes or a bunch of talking. Sometimes I'll play a little bit of one, but because there's some people that do and have requested as such. But I try to keep it just at least some gameplay, like even if it's just walking around in the forest. I chose the forest because I remember when I played it, it was one of the hardest to run places. I think there still might have been one or two places that was a little more.
Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for this little video. Hopefully I did enough games that the dude actually likes. I tried to pick ones that were pretty new, but there were a couple old ones I threw in there too. But so far, everything seemed to run pretty good. There was a couple games like Alan Wake 2, which I still wasn't expecting to be able to play like maxed out, even at 1440. Oh, with that one, I had to use like performance DLSS and play at 1080p to have path tracing and whatnot. But hey, at least I was able to max the whole game out, and it still looked really, really good. But I wanted to see what it would do native this time. There was a couple other games that couldn't quite hit constant 60, like Black Myth Wukong. I did like the most intensive part that I remember seeing in the whole game, which was when he went in the prologue and fought those people, going through the city on his little Nimbus, not the city, but going through that forest on his little cloud was fucking pretty hardcore. He got down like 47 FPS for a second. Luckily, it's just a video, so as long as it stays above 25, I'm happy. I prefer 60 plus all the time, no matter what, but hey, not all games can do that, especially when you do cinematic, which I think has baked in ray tracing, so it is what it is, but pretty much all the games, no matter which one you picked, you'd be able to get 60 plus easily if you just turned on a little DLSS in some of them or something like that. But I wanted to do native 1440 because that's what they requested. Although what I really wanted to do was, I mean, this used to be possible. I don't know why I couldn't do it this time, but way back in the day, I used to make custom resolutions and refresh rates for like overclocking my monitors. I figured, oh, I'll just go in and make a custom resolution of ultra wide because he said he had a 21:9, but it didn't want to work. Like games wouldn't see it. Windows would see it, but games wouldn't see it. So I was like, okay, well, at least I guess I'll just do 1440. I mean, hell, some games don't even support ultra-wide, so I guess that made it a little easier in the end, but I still wanted to do it in ultra-wide for the guy, but it is what it is. I at least got some 1440p gameplay footage for the guy, and anyone else who's interested how a 4090 does just at 1440p. Although, hell, half the time I use quality or balanced DLSS anyway, and I'm pretty sure quality is in between 1440 and 4K, and balanced is 1440p on the dot when you have a base resolution of 1440p, and then I'm pretty sure performance is 1080p when you're at a base of 4K. Or at least that's how 4K works. I don't know how it works with all the rest of the resolutions because I've been mostly on 4K for quite a while now. But in any case, that's about that for this video. It's probably going to be pretty long, but hopefully the guy and anyone else interested enjoys it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.